This year, there are multiple events in December 2020. Namely, there is going to be a solar eclipse, total solar eclipse on December 14th. There is going to be a Moon and Venus pairing. There are Geminid meteor showers. But the big event this month, this year, perhaps in our lifetime, is the great conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn that's going to happen on December 21st. So, naturally, we are going to talk about this conjunction in more detail. The first thing that we want to know about conjunction is how to observe it. One of the reasons there is excitement about this great conjunction is the anticipation of seeing two bright planets coming together to be seen as one. It will be seen in the evening, right after the sunset, and it also happens to be so close to the Christmas time. So all of this is guaranteed to generate lots of excitement. But as with any popular excitement, there is also an element of hype. There is also a little bit of confusion associated. So let's see what to expect. We should be able to view Jupiter and Saturn in very close proximity. That will happen. Jupiter is especially bright. Saturn is less so, but it's still bright enough. And the pair will be hanging low on the southwest horizon for about 90 minutes after the sunset. So the sunset happens somewhere around 5 o'clock these days, and maybe even earlier. So probably around 5:15 on the eastern coast would be the time to see. Maybe you should be going out and trying to observe before that time. So the window to watch is narrow because they are going to be low on southwest horizon. They may soon set. The location for observing needs to be such that there is a clear view of the southwest horizon. If it is blocked by trees, tall buildings, etc., then you may not be able to see it. And finally, it all depends on the weather. Clouds, rain, and snow could easily dash all hopes of a spectacular once-in-a-lifetime show. However, we should not despair because the conjunction is not a momentary event. It is a slow dance that Jupiter, Saturn, and Earth, yes, they have been engaged in this dance for quite some time now. As the three planets progress on their respective trajectories around the Sun, their relative motions make it appear that Jupiter and Saturn have been coming close to each other in the sky. That means even if we miss the 21st, the planets would still appear closer than we have ever seen them, for a few days before and after. The importance of 21st is that they would appear the closest and they start moving away, or rather appear to start moving away from each other on that day. So what is the conjunction? Conjunction is any time two objects, usually planets, sometimes a planet and a bright star, pass each other as seen by us from the Earth. We call that a conjunction. Meaning that they appear close together. Conjunctions happen more frequently than we might think. Moon, especially because of its large size and fast apparent motion, is frequently a party to such conjunctions. Conjunctions happen all the time, but less frequently one object actually passes in front of the other and partially or totally covers it. When that happens, that's called as an occultation. While conjunctions are common, occultations are rare. And occultations by planets other than Moon are exceedingly rare. Interestingly, two occultations are happening this month. On December 14th, Moon will cover the Sun. This is actually, we call it solar eclipse. It's an occultation. It will not be visible anywhere except some parts of South America. On December 12th, Moon and Venus will be coming very close to each other. Moon actually occults Venus, but that occultation happens during the daylight time for the eastern half of the United States. In the western Pacific time zone and beyond, that occultation may be visible. On December 21st, Jupiter and Saturn will appear very close, less than 6 minutes apart, but Jupiter will not occult Saturn. But how close is that? Let's see. The whole celestial dome, being a sphere, it covers 360 degrees. Of that, 180 degrees are above the horizon. Now, if we recall school geometry, each degree has 60 minutes and each minute is further subdivided into 60 seconds. But let's leave that for a moment. Knowing they will be 6 minutes apart, which is 1/10 of a degree, still doesn't tell us much, does it? But this may help. The disk of full moon covers about half a degree. The disk of full moon covers about half a degree, which is 30 minutes. Thus, the Jupiter and Saturn will appear close enough to fit in 1/5 of the size of the full moon. Now, that is pretty darn close. It still doesn't give us a good idea, a good visual picture, and exactly that's the reason why we must go out and observe and experience this phenomenon by ourselves. Now, having said all of this, the question still is, what is a conjunction astronomically? What happens? Let's understand that with the help of this diagram. This diagram is drawn to scale and it shows only the orbits of Earth, Jupiter and Saturn. Now let's state some well-known facts just to get on the same page. First, the distance of the Earth from the Sun, which is around roughly 93 million miles, that is considered as one unit of distance and it's called 1 AU, astronomical unit. Now on that scale, so this being 1 AU, the radius being 1 AU, the smaller orbit, Jupiter is about 5 AU. So it's 5 times further out from Sun as the Earth is. And Saturn is roughly about 10 AU, 9.6. So that's what this diagram is showing, the orbits of 3 planets around the Sun, this being the Sun. It takes Saturn 30 years to go around and complete one orbit. It takes 12 years for Jupiter to go around the Sun to complete one orbit, and 1 year for Earth to do the same. The orbit of Earth is the small blue circle next to the Sun, Jupiter, Saturn, and all planets move around the Sun in the counterclockwise fashion. So they are all going counterclockwise. Now this evokes an image of a racetrack, and that's not far off. It's as if the cars are going in the racetrack, go-karts. But the difference between a racetrack and this may be that the planets don't go and change their lanes. They will stay in their own lane as they are moving through their trajectories. And that's quite fortunate for us. Imagine you're watching from Earth and keep track of Jupiter and Saturn every day. Let's assume that. Since Jupiter completes one orbit in 12 years versus 30 years it takes Saturn to complete its orbit, Jupiter moves faster through the sky as seen by us. Has to go in 1 year, it will go here, Saturn will go here. So the relative distance in the sky that Jupiter has crossed in 1 year is more than the Saturn's. So it would appear that in a short period of time, in a due period of time, Jupiter would come close and eventually pass Saturn. So in 1 year, they move here, the second year, they go there, the third year, Jupiter has crossed Saturn in this case. So that is what would be seen from Earth. Now, to add to the complication, Earth itself is moving while this is happening. Earth is also going around, and so the relative positions of the planet in the sky keep changing. Okay, so let's start at a scenario where conjunction has happened, and in this case, this is Saturn, this is Jupiter, this is Earth. They are all exactly aligned. Sun is on the other side. This is called an opposition, where the planets are all on the same side of Sun, and from as far as the Earth is concerned, the two planets are on opposite side of Sun. So that's the opposition. Naturally, the planets would be pretty bright because they are on the other side, and they are also they would be up high in the sky at midnight. So at opposition, a conjunction is happening. Let's keep that as our starting point. So they are exactly opposite of the Sun. Now, this is not the case that is going to be on December 21st. Let's remember that. But this is for the sake of simplicity, let's keep it like this. So let's see what happens. In year 1, so we are going to count one by one, year by year. So every year Earth will go around and come back to the same spot. In that period of time, Jupiter, since it takes 12 years for it to complete, it will have gone through 30 degrees and it will be reaching here. Saturn takes even longer. So Saturn moves by about 12 degrees. So 1 year after conjunction, the same time of the year, Earth is back where it was, and now the planets look like this. The following year, again the Earth is coming back to the same spot. Saturn has moved just a little, Jupiter has moved a lot. Year 3, this is after conjunction, and now things look quite different. The planets are moving away from each other. Now let's move forward by 3 years. So now we just come here 3 more years, and Saturn goes 3 more years, 1, 2 and 3. So as we can see, Jupiter started from here, has completed half the round around Sun in 6 years. So we are 6 years from conjunction, and at the same time of the year from Earth, now this is the situation. So you can see that Saturn is here. Jupiter should be invisible because Sun, it's right behind the Sun. So Jupiter will be missing from the sky from Earth at that time of the year. So for a few days at least, Jupiter will not be seen. Let's continue. Now let's jump by another 6 years. So we come back to where we were 12 years later. Jupiter has completed its orbit, one orbit. Saturn has to go 12 steps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now Saturn is here. So 12 years, Jupiter completes one orbit. Saturn hasn't completed its orbit, even half of it. Earth is back to where it was. And this is the scene that would be from the Earth sky at that point in time. Okay, let's jump another 6 years. So now it's 18 years. Jupiter is back here, and Saturn has to move 6 more years ahead. 1, 2, 4. So Saturn is here. This is after 18 years. So now we find that both Jupiter and Saturn are behind the Sun from Earth's vantage point after 18 years. But we know that Earth keeps moving faster, and so things are just going to starting to get interesting now. So let's resume our yearly progression. So we'll move by 1 year. Let's go to year 19. So we go here, and Saturn comes here. Now, naturally, as seen from Sun, they are starting to conjunct. They're coming closer and closer together, and soon Jupiter is going to take over. At the same time of the year as we started, when the conjunction happened, Earth is not going to see this. However, Earth keeps moving around as well. So now let's progress at a shorter time interval. Now we will move at 3-month intervals. But first, just go around for 6 months. So 3 months and 3 months. So Earth is here, and Jupiter will move half the distance between this point and this point in those 6 months. So Jupiter will come here, and Saturn will move half the distance. So Saturn will be somewhere here. And now this diagram is going to start reaching its limits of how precise it can show things. Let's go another 3 months and we would reach somewhere here. And the Jupiter should have another half the distance. Saturn would have moved somewhere here. And as you can see, they are now really coming into a conjunction situation, although it's not exactly the same situation as this. The fact is now that this diagram is going to start having its limitation, but somewhere around year 20, this is going to happen. The conjunction is going to happen. If we do a little mathematical calculation, knowing the orbital speed of Jupiter and Saturn and their distance from Sun, we know exactly how much distance each of them travels in a day, and the answer comes to about 19.86 years. A conjunction will happen. So roughly about every 20 years a Jupiter-Saturn conjunction happens, and if we continue this progression, we will find that the next conjunction comes at a spot another 20 years from now. So one round, another round, and so that is the cycle. Every 20 years a conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn happens, but because of the variables, they are not always as close or as visible as this one is going to be. This conjunction is one of the closest. It happens right after sunset, so it is easy to see, but it will not be too high in the sky, so we have to have a very short window to observe it. The last conjunction that was like this, it was even better than this. The two planets came to within 2 minutes of each other instead of 6 minutes in this case, and that was around 800 years ago. A conjunction happened in February 1961. That was similar to this, but the closeness was not as much. They were about 13 or 14 minutes apart. It was also not very nicely visible. So there is this 20-year series. Every 20 years a conjunction happens. Generally, if we consider a lifespan of about 80 to 100 years, one can expect to have 4 conjunctions happening in their lifetime. The next one that is going to be better visible is going to be in 2080. So the previous one happened when I was too young. The next one will happen not in my lifetime. So this is it for me. I'm hoping for clear skies on December 21st, 2020. Thank you.